Welcome back once again. We are talking about failure. How to fail your way to success, rather, how to fail. In the first installment, we talked about failing hard. We have too many people that are too, how can I put it, live half hearted lives, very lackadaisical in their approach. And everything that they do, you're not sure that they want it to happen. And I mean, life, it's lies affair, things are just going the way they want them to go. Rather, there's no plan or no agenda. I'm saying if you're going to fail hard. Give 120% because you only live once. Anyhow, that's the first topic that we discussed regarding failure. Now I want to talk about failing safe. So you fail hard. Number two, you must fail safe. Thomas Edison puts it this way. He says, show me a man thoroughly satisfied and I'll show you a man who has failed. So if you're thoroughly satisfied, not going anywhere. But I want to touch on this issue. It's like having a parachute. You've got to step out because failure is part and parcel of life. And if you don't step out, nothing happens. So when you're stepping out, it's suicide for you to jump out of a plane and just hope that somewhere, somehow, you'll just land safely. It's suicide as a soldier, to jump out of a helicopter with no parachute. So failing safe is about having some form of a safety mechanism that ensures that you've got a soft landing, because guess what? Whether you like it or not, failure is part and parcel of life. So you should be able to fail safe. You should be able to fail in a way that ensures that life continues tomorrow. What am I talking about? I'm saying at some point in your life, you should be able to do your homework. If you're going to do something, do your homework about it. I'm reminded of the story of the children of Israel. When they left the land of Egypt, 40 years in the desert, now they are stepping into a place where they are claiming their inheritance. What happens? They go around Jericho for 7 days. The walls of Jericho were famed that they do not come down, they do not fall. But watch what God does. He allows them to walk around, and 7 days they are looking at the walls, they are looking at this structure, and as they are looking at it, they are doing their homework. In fact, before that, Joshua sends spies into the land, homework, such that if anything is to go wrong, they have planned, they have prepared. I'm saying to you, who's your mentor? Who has walked the path that you want to walk in? Don't just jump into something. Do your homework. Move around a little bit. Do some research. That's a way of failing safe. I know of a man who started a company, and this company is now gone all over the world. In fact, he's a billionaire now. When he began his company, he made his projections and he knew that challenges would come. He sat down with his team and said, guys, for the coming months, there will be no salary. But what we are going to do is we've put money aside and we're able to give you groceries month on month. But be prepared. The coming 5-6 months, there will be no salary. And true to his word, they went a couple of months with no income, but they had prepared for that. Failing safe. So if you can put some money aside, if you can have friends in times of need, and you're able to fail safe. Let me touch on something here before we come to the end of this particular lesson here. There is a man called Odysseus. Odysseus, what he did was he knew his weaknesses and understood exactly where things could go wrong. And this is from Greek mythology. And there was a particular famed place where they had mermaids singing. And these mermaids had a beautiful, beautiful voice. So what did they do? He told his sailors, the crewmen, tie me up. I cannot pass this particular piece of area and not hear these beautiful melodious voices. Because what would happen was, as the ship was going by, whichever sailor who passed, they would hear these voices. They were beautiful mermaids. Their voices were melodious. They were angelic. They would go and stop over, and the mermaids would kill them. So he said to his crew, you block your ears. For me, you tie me up, don't block my ears, even if I beg you. What does he do? He goes by there, he's tied up, and he hears these mermaids singing. And he wants to go there. But because he's been tied up, he does not succumb to his own weakness. He failed, but failed safely, because he thought he'd be able to resist. But in that moment of weakness, even though he failed, he succeeded. If you are to fail, make sure you fail safely. Do your homework. Get a mentor. Do your research. Have a parachute. Find a way that you can logically move on. God bless you.